again. Welcome to Space Engineers. I finally finished the pit. Started by digging a half a kilometer deep mine shaft that was way bigger than I anticipated, and then I didn't really know what to do with it, so I decided to build a city inside of it, and we're going to take a tour. I will upload my entire world up into mod.io at some point here. I have a laboratory on the moon as well. It's in this world. And not much else, because between the laboratory and this place, they're using up just over 300,000 PCUs. So, you know, I'm trying to leave enough space that if somebody wants to use this world, they've actually got room to build stuff in it. And most people don't build stuff on the scale that I do, so it shouldn't be an issue. And it's my opinion that this would make a great world for RP or making videos and stuff. I haven't got the people or the time to do so, generally speaking. So I tend to build the things and then put them out in the world for people to play with. Anyway, this is the cargo area. This is where cargo ships would come and land, because it's a big landing pad. You don't have to worry about a huge cargo ship suddenly having a malfunction and then coming crashing down through your entire half a kilometer deep city in a mountainside. So we're going to start here. I'm in the control tower. Get a lovely view. It's nighttime, but I figured, what the hey, I'll show you how it looks with the lights and the ambiance. It doesn't make a difference once you get up into the mine shaft. It's pretty much always nighttime there. You get about, 20 minutes of daylight around about noontime, and that's about all you get. But such is the price you pay for living in a hole. This is one of the air bikes I built for getting around. That's how we're going to get back in. This is the landing area. You can see it's quite large. This is the Turtle air truck. It's not pretty, but it does what it's intended to do, which is to connect using a merge block to these ugly things. And they're, well, literally just a cargo container with some wheels on them. You disconnect once you've offloaded, turn the power up in the suspension so it comes up off the ground, then you drive out there, then this thing goes and then lands on top of you, and you connect by the connector block, and then that thing flies off down to the lake where the really big ships land and transfers cargo down there. And then this can go back and forth just moving containers while these guys do all the parking and unloading. Oh yeah, I'm not walking back, it's a long go. And wrong button. I am going to need I didn't want to lock. Alright, this is the road in. As you can see from all the connectors and rotors, I went through some misery to get this all connected to the main base. I usually drive this in first person because it's easier to judge where the ceiling is. You can fit a fairly large vehicle through here. I have to check, make sure my retro thrusters are still on, because sometimes when I switch views I accidentally turn off my brakes. And here we go. This is the part of the tunnel that was in the preview of the build process, right about where my giant drill machine blew up. You can see the massive crater it made when it exploded. I considered making this a road and driving the cargo in, and I was like, no, that's going to be too crazy, so we're just going to pipe it in. And here's the final connection. This is where it connects fully and becomes part of the base. I put a merge block right where that U shape is and connect it there so I could get a permanent connection to the base happening. Down here, this is the mining area. We got a repair shop, a couple of buggies. And main elevator shaft. This is the mining level, so M. Below us we have all of the yeah. Accidentally turned my brakes off. So below us We have all the refineries and most of the cargo containers and all of the hydrogen storage, any H2O2 generators and all that stuff. So you're not really meant to go down there. There's a ladder to go down there, but you know, that's just where the machinery is, and I wanted to cool something or other to stick a giant fan on. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff going on up there. I'm not going to fly up there and ruin it. The surprise, I guess. I'm just going to park over here, and then we'll take the elevators like we're supposed to. I'll park in the garage, I guess. And this is a speeder. It's meant to go fast. It's not necessarily meant to stop terribly quick. Actually, I'm going to recharge the battery while I'm here. Oh. I have my taillights on backwards. Whatever. Anyway, this is the garage. This is going to be a long one. Like I said, if you can grab a cup of coffee, have a snack, this could take a while. We've got a few layers. We're on level M. Right there, that's level 1. The bridge going that way, and that stuff there, that's level 2. And that big thing you see up there is level 3. So, oh, we got an elevator. Good. I'm pretty sure I left all the elevators down so I could do this without having to wait for them. This elevator's totally OSHA compliant. I'm pretty sure I have subgrid damage turned off, so if I bang my subgrids into stuff, it doesn't usually hurt it too bad. There's jiggle in the pot. I made it a little too close with my clearances, so I don't make a lot of elevators. Alright, so level 1. We have employee quarters right there. We have a hospital. We have a nightclub and a little bit of a hotel. Access to level 2 elevator, which looks like it's there. Good. Here we have the mess hall. We'll go to the mess hall. Outside dining area for when the weather's actually okay. Sometimes it gets really hot, sometimes it gets cold, but it's Earth, so, you know, whatever. Mess hall. I'll peek in here right quick. There's really not much to say about the mess hall. You know, communal area and chill out. This is the way out. This is the way in. You know, everybody does their thing. If you've been in a mess hall before, you know how it works. Kitchen staff entrance, some bathrooms. You know, a little window out to the elevator. Alright, we'll come back to the nightclub since we get to come back this way anyway. So, pretty cool view. The, you know, shadow of the fan and the red light was kind of almost the entire reason I built the fan. Because that's exactly what I was going for, some cool lighting. You know, plus it looks neat if you're looking down, you can see. Gotta have ventilation. Built a cool little ambulance for the hospital. We'll have a look at that in a sec. This is crew quarters. These are just minor habitations, like habitations for the miners. Not underage people, but people who diggy rock. You know, the roughnecks and the people with calloused hands. The ones that do all the work but are treated like crap by the executives. There's a bathroom in there. This is my favorite, you know, this would be the crew shift supervisor kind of thing. You know, he gets a window and somewhere to sit when he eats a snack or whatever. Alright, so in here we just got more. So there's 3 or 4 on each side. I think there's 14 cabins in this area. 2 floors. You know, nothing too crazy. They're just basic needs, some storage, somewhere to sit, somewhere to sleep, bookshelf, and a shower and bathroom in there. And that's pretty much all any of them have, you know. Place to sit, place to sleep, place to shower, and go to the bathroom. You know, this would be with the other shift supervisor. He gets his own coffee maker. And a window, of course. Anyway, you'll notice there's you'll see a little bit of twitch and hitching. I have some stick drift, so the game does stutter from time to time, especially when I've got this much crap in it, and when it saves, because I've got this much crap in it. But for the most part, it runs pretty good. I'm on PS5, so I don't generally have too many issues, except every now and again the textures don't like to load in. Oh, it's hitching now. It's probably saving. All right, let's go to the hospital. Here we have a little ambulance. It's turned off, so I can't open the door, but you know, everything you need. There's a refill station, first aid kit, a little fridge thing, bed. You can stand up in there. There's lights and everything. It's got all the blinkies that you could possibly need. All these things are flashers, and guaranteed to give you a seizure. I'm not going to turn it on in case there's people with sensitivity to that. But in here, we have what it says in the sign. Laboratory, operating room, some heavy-duty, what do you call them, first aid stations, and in here would be how you get to reception if you are staff. Yeah, it's a window, there's a door. And here we have reception. Standard looking doctor's office. Fish in some aquariums or terrariums or whatever. Make your appointment. If you got minor boo-boo, you can come to the small refill stations here. And if you're going to be staying a while or visiting, there's 4 patient rooms up here. They're all the same. You know, this time I thought of not making the people with broken legs or fresh appendicitis surgeries not walk down the hall to go to the bathroom with their buttless gowns. So, you know, hooray. I did a bit more thinking as I built with this one. Although I saved a little bit too much space for the hospital, and I didn't really know what to do with it, and I didn't just want to have a million rooms that are all the same, so I built the atrium. I was thinking a garden area, right? Put some plants in there, but then I'd have to hook up all the hydration systems and stuff so the plants wouldn't die. And make it airtight. So I was like, no, it's a neglected garden, you know. I like the natural rock too. It kind of looks like it's intended, you know. Those are supposed to be posters, but they never load right in console version. But you get a clock and all the lights. If you're connected to the internet, the clock will actually tell you the right time, you know, wherever you are in the world. Anyway. Otherwise, I think it just tells you what time it is in your server. I'm not sure, but that's the hospital. And I like to look up every now and again because you can see the drilling control station way up there where I started and had the drill head attached and was driving it down. I had intended to do more levels than this, go all the way to the top. I think I stopped about 150 or 200 meters from the top just because I ran out of ideas and the will to live. So, we have the nightclub. If you get close, you can hear it. Oh, yeah. Some tunes blasting. And, oh, yeah. The neon blocks have a hard time with the textures. Like, even that's not right. It's like low-res version or something. The nose just didn't register at all. But anyway, go in here. There's not really any reception, you know. It's just there's 3 little kind of rental rooms, you know, if you're a civilian and want to book a night in the old mine shaft, or if you can afford it, then here you go. This initially was going to be like the higher ranking people quarters, and it could still be, I suppose, but then they got to live right under a nightclub, so I don't know. Every time I go outside, there's different music when I walk inside. I don't know if I just catch it at the right time or what, but anyway. Textures are messed up on that. That's supposed to be a poster too. And here, these are the neon blocks. I mean, it looks neat. So it doesn't look like it's not intentional, but yeah. And yeah, these are neon blocks too. I think they're supposed to be the dark colored ones, but you can't tell, so whatever. Killer view from here though. You can see all the way down to the bottom. And well, if you walk on the windows, you can see all the way up. Alright, let's get out of here so I don't have to yell. And as you can tell, even though I'm on Earth, I'm still anal about my door protocol most of the time. You know, build good habits. That's all I'm saying. Especially if you got that depressurization mod that blows you out the freaking doors if it depressurizes. I've seen that on some of Splitsy's videos. Anyway, this is the way to level 2. By the way, for some strange reason you wind up watching this, Splitsy, you should totally make a video with this. Anyway, just saying. I'm a fan. Keep up your stuff. Keep up the good work. Yeah. So, I'm just stopping for views along the way while I babble. This is the elevator to level 3. Level 3, level 2. This is the elevator to level 2. So we're going up there. There's a visitor center there, and air cabs and security. And over here we have the executive housing, but they're on the executive landing pad and a cool bridge. So that's where we're headed next. This elevator was not designed for short people. It's very quiet though. I made sure I left lots of clearance for this one so it wasn't banging against the side constantly. It's going to make a couple of noises up the top, but you know, whatever. This stuff's a bit easier to see there. Oh. Yeah, so it bonks a little bit coming in, but the only thing it's really got to run into is just a couple panels and some fences, so, you know, yeah. Alright, that's the elevator to level 3. We'll get to that in a second. We'll go through the visitor center first. You know, another nice view. In here, I got the visitor center. Statue. You know, artsy-fartsy windows. I like the way this place turned out. I decided to continue my brutalism at an angle sort of design philosophy. And, it came out pretty good. So, being as how this is like a company visitor center, you know, this is like DSMV, kind of the home base, where they started and dug all their resources to make their crap. And it did actually mine the resources out of this and make stuff out of it. But this was built in creative mode. I don't have 10 years to build stuff, so here's the the entrance. Spinning Pathangi 3000, the new ore detector. Here's reception. This is where you can book an air taxi tour or you know, pay for a hotel room downstairs or whatever. Yeah, a little bit of a waiting area where the exhausted parents can sit down while the kids run around and cause issues. You know, nice view. You can see the sky sometimes. Anyway, reception. That's how you get in there. Another little museum area up here. I don't know why I'm hearing engine noises, but in here, public washroom. One on this side, one on that side, because, you know, we're progressive. We don't care which one you use. Just wash your hands. Anyway, we headed out to the back door. I thought of maybe putting another display here, but the only thing left was weapons, and they're way too big. They stick up and they look silly. So instead of just a viewing area, you can watch your family take their taxi tour if you're not inclined. Alright, out here we got the bridge to the rich people houses, and we have, as you can see, air taxis and security. So that leads up to the landing pad for the air taxis. And here we got security, a couple of police bikes. Those are available on mod.io as well. DSMV NAT, GNAT. It's alright. You know, it's still definitely, you can crash it when you get up to speed because it's only got one set of lefty righties. Plenty of upthrust for what it is, but you know, but that's the fun of it. It's just like a motorcycle, right? They're a lot of fun, but you're probably going to die. Here is security. Come in here, you get received, you're checked in or whatever. Somebody kicks off the problem, you can close the bulletproof windows there. If you're getting booked, you come in here, you drop all your crap on the table. Gun there, so you behave yourself. This guy takes all your info. Then you bring you, this just leads to desks. Speaking of which, I should shut that door. And saving. This leads to, I was going to say prisoner storage, but prisoner holding cells. That's the interrogator's desk, bathroom. And here we have prisoner cells. Pretty basic. We don't worry about heat or air conditioning for the prisoners. They've got oxygen and they can breathe and they can poop. So that's all they get. Crime doesn't pay. Theoretically. Being a bad criminal doesn't pay. Alright. That's the security area. Up here we have air taxi. There's another one way at the top, but passengers hop in here. The grates, they fold up, come to about like here, about chin level, so nobody falls out. Pilot in here, nothing fancy. No, it's just a little air taxi. But if you're wondering about these, they're the new structure, like, I don't know, curved round block things. And then angled, and then the new conduit pipes. They're useful for more than just being conduits. Over here, come across the bridge, you can see the visitor center, elevator, elevator to the third level, private landing pad for the rich people. This is a feature I'm kind of happy with the way it turned out. I built a tunnel behind it. I put some exhaust pipes in the tunnel with smoke coming out of them to obscure the fact that they don't really go that far and it's just rock behind there. And then because the flat air thrusters or whatever are pointed into the tunnel, the outside of them you can plonk stuff to them. So I plonked flat exhaust caps on the center of each one of them and made white smoke come out of them. Except for this one, I turned it off. I still plonked the thing there so it looked the same, but I turned it off. And then I used a sparky conduit to make it look like it was busted. But can I? No. In the daytime, when the odd time you get light down here, you can see that there's quite a lot of smoke coming out of that. But it's a nice ambient effect. I have the same thing going on right there. I've got some smoke generators, and right there, and I've got a bunch down in the bottom. So smoke comes up through the big fan too, but you can't see it most of the time. It's too dark. In here, oh yeah, and I've got some there too, so the smoke comes out. We have one residence there. There wasn't one residence there. Nice little kind of artsy-fartsy sort of, I don't know, patio area. So here you got the kitchen, place to eat, living room down here, a couple of couches, nice view. Watch all the people flying around. Master bedroom, so bathroom, office, closet space, bookshelf, bed, and bedroom with windows, which is a rarity in this place. Most bedrooms do not have windows. It's kind of I was more concerned with the shape of things than with making everything super spacious. Right? I mean, it is a city built in an old mine shaft, so concessions were made, and this one's basically the same. The living room's the same. Up here we have a smaller kitchen. There's a public bathroom for guests, and then there's an upstairs. Well, that's the bathroom. There's an upstairs, a little patio, very large walk-in closet, and a much larger bedroom, but no windows. Because, it gets boring when you make every place the same. You have to have a little bit of variety, even among the low-income stuff. This is my Camaro, like A-E-R-O, Camaro. It's just an air car. Works pretty good. Very slim profile. It's got a Prototech battery, I think. Yeah, right behind these two things. It's got a couple of them, I think. 2 Prototech batteries, so it's going to have a lot of range. It also has somewhere in here on either side. Is it one side or the other? I can't remember. Well, anyway, somewhere on this thing. Oh, I think I put it behind here. There is an accessible container that you put uranium in, and you use the uranium to charge the battery. So there's no connector on this. You can't charge it off a base or anything. I didn't want to waste the space on a connector. When all you need to do is put a couple bricks of uranium in and put your battery on charge, and you'll be good to go. Plus a bit of a backup. If the batteries die, you'll get some thrust out of it. Like, not enough to run all the engines all the time, but probably enough to get you landed without dying. So yeah, this is the private landing pad. It's big enough for a decent-sized small grid ship, you know, like a shuttle or something. I can't land my Andromeda on it. It's too small for that. But I can land my Icarus fighters on it. They're also available on mod.io. Some of them use flares, torch drives. Some of them use the assault cannons and weapons mod. Some of them use the DLC editions, Warfare 2 DLC editions mod. So anyway, this is the level 3 elevator. If you're coming from this side, you can tell that you're on level 2. And that's gobbledygook because it's backwards. Those are the holographic projection screens or whatever. And here, this elevator tells you how far down you are. Didn't do that on purpose, I just didn't know what else to put there. And the default screen's kind of crappy looking, so. Up here, the green square is right next to the public parking. The yellow line is for private garages. And here there's a airbike dealership. Yeah, this is my favorite area of the pit. And it took the longest to build. Anyway, you are on level 3. In here, we got a little, you know, kind of a roadside food stand kind of a thing. A cyberpunk roadside cafe above the abyss. Just some random crap. That's how the cook gets in here. Got ATM. Oh no, sorry, contract machine if you want a shipping contract of some kind. Those are supposed to be posters for Klein Cola and Cosmic Coffee. A little further down, we have Guns and Blammo, a gun store. And then the booking gift shop, you know, if you want to take something home to the kiddies. I had a bunch of stuff sitting on the desk, but it's all despawned, like the stuffies and the cans of cola and stuff. But anyway, right here we just have foot access for the private parking. You know, people want to park their own little air bikes in here. You've got the money to pay for the private parking, it's there for you. You know, if you want to have company over, they can park outside in front of your door. You're not going to get anything big in here, but if you know, this door is only 1 tall by 1.5 wide, so it's not meant for ships, it's meant for air bikes. Yeah, as you can see, let's see if I find a spot where it's actually, there is just empty space beneath us. I did that on purpose. I wanted to, people to, like, you know, feel like they're in a city, kind of forget about it for a sec, look down and go, oh, right, I'm probably 300 or 400 meters or 1,000 feet above the ground. There's the ATM, some cargo access if you need to file, I don't know, send some packages. We'll go down there in a sec. Here we got O'Queef's odds and ends. It's a junk cellar, I guess. You know what's down there? Oh, that's the parking lot for the car dealership. You can see the neon for it. I misjudged the height of the statue, but whatever. If you want to chill here, you know, wait while your significant other takes the kids to the bath. Those are public washrooms. There's 2 or 3 washrooms in each one. And we come back farther this way. This just comes back out to the concourse or whatever. We have access for private parking. This is just a storage room. You know, if you want a smuggler, you want to hide some stuff for the next guy to pick up, like it's in the orange barrel in the storage room. Another parking area. This is the civilian version of the police bike. And in here we have slightly more expensive, slightly larger parking. And this is the same thing I was driving earlier, just a different paint job. The base model just has green panels instead of yellow. Anyway, and then all down the left-hand side here we have living quarters for people. So they got the kitchen, all the kitchen stuff they need. They can sleep. They got a couch, storage, shower, bathroom, place for their suit. So everything you need and nothing else. And the ventilation, you know, temperature can get a little crazy in here because that's your ventilation. It's just open air ventilation. So yeah, there's 1, 1, 2, 3, 3 of those apartments on this side. I just keep looking down so that you get an idea of, like, you know, we are definitely above it. This is the crappy neighborhood, as you can tell. You know, dim flickering lights and the sparking whatevers. There's 3 apartments on this side. They're all the same. So bed, kitchen, shower, bathroom. The rest of the kitchen somewhere to eat. Your ventilation. You know, couch. These are slightly nicer apartments because you actually get windows that you can look out of. So, you know, you don't feel like you're completely trapped in a metal coffin of insanity. But yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3 apartments on this side. This is where the cool kids hang out. You know, it's dark, nobody comes down here. They can smoke death sticks and whatever. Play band card games, I don't know. And here we just have the water storage, water treatment facility. I didn't know what to do with this. I spaced out the doors and then started building the apartments. And when I got here, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't have enough space for another apartment. I'm just going to make a random room for environmental storytelling. And then we're going to go down to public parking. Down here, we have skeet scoots and public parking for air bikes. That's the very first air bike I ever made. To get you an idea of how old it is, those are the newest thrusters for air vehicles available in the game when I made this. And at the time, I thought, man, this is a really small vehicle. I bet you I can't make anything smaller than that. Turns out you can't. I made a Star Wars style speeder bike. This was a good one too. It's only got 1 lefty righty. It's only got 2 forward. And just down under the taillight, you can see the cargo access for the uranium. This is the same thing. It's got 1 Prototech battery, and then it's got it for like actual usable power, and then it's got the reactor for charging. Okay, it's turned on, and then it's got the reactor for charging the battery. So technically, you have to put fuel in it, but I didn't bother with a connector again for space. This is just a crappy version of the Camaro. You know, it's new and used, right? This is a nicer version of the Camaro. This is mine. I painted this one. It doesn't come this. It comes, if you download it, it comes the green and the white. But I like. And then this one in the wheel well, I think. I still don't know where the cargo access for this. I lost. But let's go in the showroom. And here we got the Desert Beetle. This is probably actually one of the better handling ones I have because there's like 0 weight to it, but there's also 0 mods. There's no Prototech, so it's kind of like your base model. It's just got a regular warfare battery. A lot of lights for seeing through, you know, sandstorms. It's got 4 up thrust, so decent that, and 3 reverse thrust. It's actually pretty quick. Here's the black camo version of the Endor speeder bike. I think stylistically, I like this one and this one the best. This one is like the GT version, you know. Easy access for the reactors. It's got 2 reactors. It can run on battery or reactor, and it's got a Prototech battery. And it's got 4 going forward thrusters, so it's very quick. And then, yeah, civilian one. So, yeah, this is Skeet Scoots. Cash only, please. Go out here to the garage. I've got a lift for lifting things. You know, the controller here, you can sit here and just, you know, move the lift while you're watching it. And then out here, we got, this is where you fly your broken scooter, air bike, whatever. This is how you get them in and out of the showroom. So that's this. Skeet Scoots, new and used, mechanics on duty. And then public parking. And then on this level is, you know, the concourse and the private parking. And then in here we have the apartments and then the water treatment facility. And there is another level in here. I'm going to get to it. Go back, make sure I close all the freaking doors. Because I'm weirdly anal retentive about that. But yeah, so the thing that I thought was the smallest air bike I could build is twice the size of this thing, and even bigger than the Desert Beetle there, the green version. Are probably the smallest air bikes I've built, like as far as total space. Because that one's shorter and narrower, but it's taller. So you bang your head on crap with that one. But all right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, going up to the landing pad. Because some people might actually show up in larger airships, right? Or spaceships. Like my personal spaceship is parked up here. So up here we have the main landing pad. It's got six landing pads. So this is one of my fighters. And it basically is about the right size for a landing pad. So I'm really happy with these disc design. I worked a long time on these. It's a bit chunky because it's a two-seater. But it's got some big artillery cannons in the front. Got a couple missile pods on each wing and a wing-mounted railgun. When you take off, the front landing gear folds up inside. That's a door, so those close up pretty much flush. These fold up inside this cavity here, and then this wing like flips down this way, and then it's flush over top, covers up the landing gear. You can't even tell it's there. I'm quite happy about that. I can't remember what this thing's called. It's just a troop transporter. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. It fits 6 troops, gunner, and then the pilot. Air only, but it's pretty well armed. There's quite a lot of heavy armor in it. And this dates it because I put sci-fi atmosphere thrusters was the newest thing. So, but anyway, that's that. It's just a hangar. You want to work on something or build a ship or whatever. And here we have, I made space for landing other ships, or if the entire landing pad is empty, like landing a larger ship that might have a side connector or back connector. So, yeah, so six landing places. This is the GT version of my fighter. It's just a little jet plane. It's quite a bit slimmer. It runs on flares torch drive, and it's got a fighter cockpit instead of the old school cockpits of that one. Very fuel efficient, very quick, and also folds up and looks cool. This is if I need to get to a space station or something, and I don't want to drag a bit bigger ship than that. This is my all-purpose vessel right here. You know, there's no living quarters. This is my personal, just like a car type ship, and this is my personal ship. It's the Andromeda. It's available on mod.io. It's all small grid. It's got Prototech in it, but it's basically a flying Winnebago, or a flying RV, or a flying camper van, depending where you are in the world. You might call it any one of those things, but it's pretty cool. It's got a little cargo area here. It's got the Prototech jump drive, so it's a small grid with a jump drive. It's got an airlock, very skinny airlock. Engine room, cargo access, fuel tanks. In here, more cargo access. First aid kit, and I usually put radiation medication in my first aid kits. Med station. Various bits and bobs, weapon rack, and this is the living quarters. Got a stove, sink, microwave, a little light. You can't really see it, but there is a table there. Yeah, there's a table there. You can sit. A couple of bunk beds. There's a coffee maker there. There's a jukebox up in the corner. There's a light switch, and then there's storage and a fridge for food and food packets and that kind of crap. And there's a little bench there and some TVs. And a TV, I should say, for watching TV. Right? And then if you've got somebody along with you, they can pop in here and do whatever in the cockpits here. So, yeah. Kind of got sidetracked. I've already done a video about this ship, but I like it so much I can't help but show it off. And these flip up, so the guns are pointed the right way, and the landing gear folds up when it's landed. Now the next part up you cannot get to with an elevator, because I couldn't be bothered making an elevator that long. But that's what the air bikes and air cabs are for. If you pay for the air cab tour, you get to visit this. Otherwise, it's off limits. But up here we have the entrance to the tunnel. We have a gun emplacement for meteors and drones and near-do-wells, the sun tracking solar panel, wind power, and the air traffic control. Oh yeah, here's the view down. Doesn't really look like much from this angle, but you know, that's a half a kilometer down. That fan is half a kilometer away. So, you know, and I'm only distance-wise, I'm maybe halfway. So this is still open to more building if you want to plop this world as your starter world and then add more layers with your own stuff. Or if you're playing with a large crew and you need more places for people to land and live, then there you go. This was the original mining control tower. I had a seat up there for controlling the drill. These were my ejectors for spitting the rock out. It's just going to roll down the hill and off the edge. And this is the landing pad for this place, for the air cabs and whatnot. And here, this was the lunch area for the crew, because initially this was the mine. This building was the mine. Right? And here we got the laboratory for soil analysis and whatnot. We'll go in there in a sec. Some solar panels, some oxygen generators just in case, and some algae farms just in case. That way, you know, even if you leave this place unattended for a long period of time, it's still going to have oxygen in the food. You're not meant to walk on this. It's a solar panel, but whatever. This was the original processing area where I ran all the crap through. So we got the refineries and the assemblers. I built this place as though I was going to either need to add to it, like, outside of creative mode, or so that it would be completely usable in creative mode. There's a couple of large industrial cargo containers buried in there, so it has its own storage too. Oh yeah, I was going to go inside, and then we're done. And then you can go back to living your life and not listening to me drone on. And this was the crew habitation area for the people that were working the mine initially. They didn't live here, but, you know, they ate here. They went to the washroom here. Took their breaks, you know, and go stand out on the launch pad if you want to have a death stick. I'm trying to avoid swearing and saying taboo things in case children watch this. Kids have watched Star Wars. They know what death sticks are. They don't know about other things that are legal in my country if you're an adult. Anyway, here's the lab. That's the processing lab. I added these so that you can use it as a you know, control towers. Guide ships in, be like, go down. Like, yeah, air pad 5 is open. Please head into the hole. And then, you know, if you're on the tour, you can come out here and be like, ooh, big cool building, wow. And it's going to love the view of not much of anything. I built my my mine on top of a mesa next to a lake. The hunting lodge that was in the beginning of the Fenrir video is right there. And the lake that I had the Fenrir and the Avalon parked on is right there. So that's where the big ships would land to offload cargo, and then the turtle cargo lift thing would pick it up and would fly it to the side entrance of the mountain, which is what's on this, which heads out about that way. So the mine shaft that leads out heads like that way, and then there's the hole, and you fly the stuff down to the lake. I thought about making like an elevator or an inclinator. And if you've ever watched the sci-fi anime, you've probably seen an inclinator. There was one in Akira. There was one, one or two in Metal Gear Solid, the video game series. And we are quite high up. So yeah, up here, there's not always a lot of oxygen. There tends to be a lot of sandstorms. Because technically it's right on the edge of a desert biome. Down there it's usually much nicer because A, it's wide, it's sea level, right? But anyway, yeah, so if you're visiting on a ship, you come down here. Yeah, see, now the sandstorm's gone. So you can land on the landing pad. If you're driving a small speeder-sized vehicle, you can land at the public parking. If you're someone to visit a friend, you can land there. You can land at the executive thing. The red jet, the red like fighter ship with no guns. This one's unarmed. I showed you there. Basically, if you park it here, the tip of the nose is like at the red, and the tail of it would come to pretty much right where the front of this car is, or maybe right there. So it's not a huge landing pad, but it's not meant to be. It'll fit a shuttle, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, I was going down. Yeah. There's the air taxi stand, the visitor center, and then a little farther down, get the landing pad for the hospital, the ambulance. Yeah, I kind of like this thing. It's because it's about the size of a real ambulance, and I managed to get all the shit I needed. Oh, there's my first bad word. Don't swear, kids. It's not good. Managed to get everything I needed inside of it. You know, I mean, it's just a box that flies, but whatever. Small things make me happy. Alright. That's all she wrote. Should be available in mod.io shortly, once I remember how to upload an entire save file. And I've got to rename the save. So once that happens, I will upload this, and people can explore it on their own. Yeah, have fun, be inspired, use it, please, play in it, build on it. You know, if you do decide to use it in the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you gave me credit for the building, so that people will go check out my profile on, what's it called, mod.io, and download more of my stuff. I don't get paid for it. I don't get anything out of it other than the enjoyment of knowing that there are people out there playing with the crap I built and finding it useful. So yeah, have a good one.